Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to take you through the process of installing the cooler extension to the stock cooler. As you know, in the 2021 model year they've come up with an extension for the cooler, but it gives you extra storage space separate from the main compartment, and this allows you to either store food or dry goods in the insulated sealed compartment. So in my case, I'm more than likely going to be using it for my tackle. Ordered the piece, it was great. I went to brp.com and within a couple of days it was delivered. So I'm going to take you through the unboxing process. We're going to follow the instructions, and then hopefully it's as simple as they make it seem to be. So stay tuned, and I'll take you through that. There it is, guys. Comes with your parts. So one of the things to note is that this did not come with instructions, so I had to print my own instructions from the website, and it takes you through the installation steps, which are pretty straightforward and simple. And so let's get to it right now. Our step one says carefully remove the original pins from the original cooler lid using a flat screwdriver as a lever, then gently pull with a pair of pliers. Keep the lid and pins for future steps. So those are the pins here. There's two of them, one on either side. So we're gonna get that going. Alright, there's the first one. That wasn't too bad. Oh, there you go. That came out much easier. So both pins are out, and now our lid is free. So now we take that off, set that aside for right now. Let's go to step number two. They're calling to install the new latch onto the lid. For now, I'm going to leave it relatively loose so that once I put the lid on, I can adjust it and make sure it locks properly. For the next step, it wants us to reinstall the pins now to attach the cooler extension to the original cooler. Make sure these holes are aligned, because you don't want to do any damage to the cooler if you start driving the pin and it's not aligned properly. And that's it. So she's on there now, just like the old lid. And now let's see what the next step is. This next step is kind of partially self-explanatory. These are the straps. You can see they are sewn in the middle here. So although it doesn't explicitly tell you that in the instructions, you want to keep that into the cooler so that you don't end up fighting the straps when you're trying to close the cooler. And then at the top, you're gonna use this provided screws, and it's gonna go right into these little tabs on the lid.
There you go.
There you go. Now you can see when you close the lid, the straps fold inward, so that's a very important step. This brings us to the last step, which is to reinstall the original cooler lid onto the storage box using the original pins, which I have here. And again, the warning about making sure you align the holes before driving the pins in with a hammer. I'm noticing on this side, although this pin already went through, on this side the hole is definitely not aligned, significantly not aligned. Now if you can see from this angle, notice how this pin, you can pretty much see it's coming almost straight. It's actually a little bit of an incline, kind of going down this way, but if you look at this one, look how much further that is. So that's why by the time I get to this point, it's no longer lining up with the original hole on my top. I can get this one to go through, no problem, but this one is not going through. So I think the issue here is that this hole is not drilled properly. So I've got two options at this point. It would be to return it to the manufacturer to get a new one, or in my case, I think all I'm going to do is I'm going to drill out that hole a little bit higher up on this end, and that should allow the pin to kind of come straight through and align with my original hole on my lid. I don't think that'll be much of a problem. Then I'll put some silicone in the additional kind of the gap that'll end up there, and that should satisfy the issue. So here's the good news. After drilling it out a little bit more, just putting a lot of pressure, downforce to just try to get that hole to align, I was able to persuade it to go into the hole. So now I've got this extra compartment, which again, like I said, I'm going to plan to use for my tackle, the smaller size ones. So it looks, so the small size, this size right here, this is the Plano Guide Series model 3640 of the Plano boxes. So that fits perfectly in there. So I would say you can probably put 1, 2, 3 of these across, and probably 2 high. I have to check in that, but there you go. So put my tackle in there, close that lid, and then you got your cooler here. So all in all, I think this might be a good investment. Obviously, Test will be using it out on the water, and I'll make sure to follow up with my thoughts after I have a few chances to use it. Just as I was getting ready to wrap it up, I realized something else that I think I need to bring to your attention, which is a big issue actually. So one thing is, you know, we've always had these rod holder positions in the back, but guess what now, with the design of the new cooler extension, watch what happens when you try to open the cooler extension. Yep, as you can see, once you put this cooler extension, that renders fishing rod holders in the back obsolete, and that is certainly not something that they mention. Now sure enough, you still have your positions here where you can put your rods, your incline position here, and if you're like me, I've added my rod holders on the sides, or if you have the new Sea-Doo rod holder attachments for the front, you can go with that. But I guess, you know, I am a bit disappointed that there wasn't a warning on the website kind of mentioning this already. So buyer beware. Maybe they can come up with an extension or something to bring these rod holders further out for them to still be allowed to be used. But for now, I guess we're stuck with this. And please hit subscribe before you go if you haven't already. So as always, thanks for watching, and see you soon.